Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So, Battle of Siffin. This is you can say, a gory incident, very bloody incident in the history of the Islam, which took place in the time of the Khilafat of Imam Ali alayhi salam. So, how this happened and what was the situation at that time, according to the Muslim Sunni school of thought, inshallah ta'ala, I'm going to present this in front of you. So first of all, let's see that how Imam Ali alayhi salam was elected as Caliph, because a lot of things depend upon that. So I have been asked to specially focus on that. So let's see that what was the nature of the election of Imam Ali alayhi salam as Caliph. So I think you can read it and you can see that. So anyway, I will go quickly through that. Imam Ali bin Abi Talib was elected as fourth Caliph of the Muslim Ummah after the violent assassination of the third Caliph, Usman Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anhu. That was the time of chaos and turmoil. Everything just like you can say couldn't hear that who is saying what and who is who. So this was all confusion at that time. But in spite of that, the election of Imam Ali alayhi salam, it took place very peacefully and with the unanimously and with the agreement of all the stakeholders at that time in Medina. So let's see that in a bit detail, that actually what happened. So after the assassination of Usman Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anhu, through the history, which you can find in all the major books of history like Tarikh at-Tabari and Tarikh of Imam Kamil, and so many others as well, inshallah, which I will quote later on. You can see that the assassins, they had this agreement to get rid of Usman Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anhu, but after that, who will take his place? There was no agreement about that. So Egyptians, they wanted Ali alayhi salam to be Khalifa, and Kufis, they wanted Zubair Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anhu as Khalifa, and people of Basra, they liked Talha Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anhu. But three of them, they refused to accept this offer. Then the people went to Sa'd bin Abi Waqqas Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anhu, Abdullah bin Umar Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anhu as well, but they also they did not show any interest to accept that seat. Now, how Ali Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anhu was elected? So, according to all the Sunni schools of thought, he was elected with the free will of the people without any use of force or bribing the people. So, this is very critical and very important. That this is the unique thing about the election of Imam Ali alayhi salam, that he did not come out, did not say, did not give any hint that the people should elect him as Caliph. But according to some narrations, he was in his home, or according to some other, he was in the garden of some other people when the people approached him, right? And according to the authentic narrations by the major Sunni scholars, he was begged to accept the office of Khalifa. And he declined this offer again and again, but the people insisted they would not accept anyone else Khalifa other than Ali Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anhu. So in this regard, Alama Abu al-Hassan Ali bin Muhammad, which is commonly known as Ibn al-Asir, he writes, إنه لما قتل عثمان اجتمع أصحاب رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من المهاجرين والأنصار وفيهم طلحة والزبير فاتوا عليا فقالوا له إنه لا بد للناس إمام قال لا حاجة لي في أمركم فمن اخترتم رزيت به فقالوا ما نختار غيرك وترددوا إليه مرارا وقالوا له في آخر ذلك إنا لا نعلم أحدا أحق به منك لا أقدم سابقة ولا أقرب قرابة من رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فقال لا تفعلوا فإني أكون وزيرا خيرا من أن أكون أميرا فقالوا والله ما نحن بفاعلين حتى نبايع. So you can just imagine that how they were begging him to accept the office. So he did not have to use any sword or force, any power or any bribe or any you can say greed to the people. Rather, they insisted that for this and this reason that you are the most near to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and you are the first one to accept Islam. So they were saying these things to Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu. And then again, a bit more clarification about this. His election was so fair that when people asked him repeatedly to accept the office of the Khalifa, he clearly said, my allegiance must not be in secret, and it has to be in masjid. So it is more than fair, I think, that he could have accepted them in his house or in the garden, wherever he was. But he said, no, it should be in the public. So beyond any doubt. So Qala, again, I will quote Allama Ibn al-Asir. He says that فَفِي الْمَسْجِدِ فَإِنَّ بَيْعَتِي لَا تَكُونُ خُفْيَةً وَلَا تَكُونُ إِلَّا فِي الْمَسْجِدِ وَكَانَ فِي بَيْتِهِ وكان في وكيل في حائط لبني أمر بن مبزول فخرج وكان أول من بايعه من الناس طلحة بن عبيد الله وبايعه الزبير وقال لهما علي إن أحببتما أن تبايعاني وإن أحببتما بايعتكما. So he gave them the free choice that if you want to accept me as Caliph, okay, or if you want me to accept you as Caliph, so I am totally ready for that as well. But فقال بل نبايعك وقال بعد ذلك إنما فعلنا ذلك خشية على نفوسنا وعرفنا أنه لا يبايعنا. So but unfortunately later on they changed their minds, and after 4 months of doing the bayat of the Khalifa, they went to Mecca and they started their other activities over there. So At-Tabri also mentions in Tarikh al-Umam wal-Muluk, which is famously known as Tarikh Tabri, الصحابة وفيهم طلحة والزبير دخلوا على علي وقالوا له يا أبا الحسن هلما نبايعك فقال لا حاجة لي أمركم. So again, Imam Tabari is as well sporting this, that these Jalilul Qadr Sahaba, the big Sahaba, the famous Sahaba Ikram, they also went to him. Rather, they were the first one to offer him the pledge of allegiance to Ali Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anhu. So it makes it beyond any doubt that Ali Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anhu did some conspiracy, or he just he was forcing the people to accept him as Caliph, or he will do this and that with them. So some of the Sahaba Ikram, they did not accept him. Some of the famous Sahaba Ikram, they did not accept him as Caliph. They did not do the bayat, like Hassan bin Sabit Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anhu and so many other. But he asked them nothing, let them go. Even Abdullah bin Umar, he was brought to him and he was asked, people brought him to Ali Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anhu. So Ali said to him, do bayat to me. But he said, I will wait until the people have done so. So after that, I will see. So Ali Raziyallahu Ta'ala asked him first that, do you have any guarantor? So he said, I don't have any guarantor. So Ali Raziyallahu Ta'ala said, I am your guarantor. And he told the people to let him go. So this was the attitude, great attitude of Imam Ali. It is all found in the books of Hadith. So now after that, when he was elected, and the people offered him the pledge of allegiance in the masjid of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, now he started appointing the governors in the different provinces. So according to the historians, again, Ibn al-Asir says, بعد ذلك بدأ علي عليه السلام بتفريق أماله على الأمصار فبعث عثمان بن حنيفة على البصرة وعمار بن شهاب على الكوفة وعبيد الله بن عباس على اليمن وقيس بن سعد على المصر وسهل بن حنيف على الشام. So then when he sent his governors, so they were accepted without any problem, except for the Sahal bin Hunayf, who was sent to Sham. but the people of Muawiya radiallahu anhu, they did not let him even enter the borders of Syria, and he was sent back. So rest of the governors, they didn't have any problem, because some of the other governors, they already, when they heard about the assassination of Usman, they left their places and they started traveling to Medina, and some, they were there, but there was no issue with them. So, but what happened to Muawiya radiallahu anhu? What was his stance? How did he see the things? So Muawiya refused to offer pledge of allegiance to Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu when he was approached by Ali. So as you will see in the Arabic text, on the ground of the demand of avenging the blood of Uthman, first claiming to be the heir of the murdered Caliph. Even Ali alayhi salam wrote a letter to Muawiya explaining the situation in Medina and calling him to accept him as Caliph, but unfortunately it did not work and he did not listen. So again, I will quote Tabari. فَبَعَثَهُ Jarir bin Abdullah al-Bajali رضي الله عنه, the famous Sahabi, إليه وكتب معه كتابا يؤلمه فيه اجتماع المهاجرين والأنصار على بيته ونقص طلحة والزبير وما كان من حربه إياهما ويدعوه إلى الدخول فيما دخل فيه المهاجرون والأنصار من طاعته فشخص إليه جرير فلما قدم عليه مات له واستنذره ودعا أمر بن آس فاستشاره فيما كتب به إليه فأشار عليه أن يرسل إلى وجوه الشام ويلزم عليا دم عثمان ويقاتله بهم ففعل ذلك معاوية. So this happened that instead of listening to the ambassador of Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu, Jarir bin Abdullah, he called Amr bin As radiallahu anhu, and on his advice he accepted the other way. He wanted to go to the other way, and he called the leaders of the Sham, and he just enticed them to fight against Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu. So this is all again found in the books of history. So then the thing started going further. So when Caliph Ali had realized that Muawiya, and there were other efforts as well which were done in order to make him understand and to surrender to Caliph and to offer him the pledge of allegiance. And after that, Ali radiallahu ta'ala promised that they will solve the issue of the assassins of Usman radiallahu ta'ala anhu, because at this time Ali was not in so strong position to do so. But all the efforts, they failed. And now when Caliph Ali had realized that Muawiya bin Abi Sufyan was on a clear defiance and was not willing to adhere to the stance of the Caliph, he decided to suppress this revolt and march towards Syria with his forces. So Muawiya ibn Abi Sufyan, on the other hand, had also decided to confront the Caliph in the battlefield. Both armies met each other in the plain of Siffin. So they stayed there almost 3 months, and this period had been full of wars and the troubles, except for the month of Muharram, which was paid for a truce and negotiation, but all in vain. Narrations related to this period also reveal a number of instances where the efforts for the peace and reconciliation took place between the Caliph and Muawiya through their deputations, like ذكر هشام بن محمد عن أبي محنف الأزدي قال حدثني that قال لما توادى علي ومعاوية يوم صفين اختلف فيما بينهما الرسل رجاء الصلح فبعث علي Adi bin Hatim wa Yazid bin Qais, and so many other people as well. So from the both sides, the delegations they were exchanged in order to make peace, but unfortunately these people, they had made the Syrians, they had made their mind not to listen anything, but to first take the charge of those assassins of Usman radiallahu ta'ala, and after that they will do whatever they want to do. So, but
Syed
when
Naveed,
these people, sorry,
you have 2 minutes left. You have 2 minutes left.
2 minutes left. Okay. جزاك الله خير. فلما دخلوا حمد الله بن حاتم قال أما بعد فإنا أتيناك ندوك إلى أمر يجمع الله عز وجل به كلمتنا وأمتنا. So they just try to make him convince him and remind him about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and about taqwa and peace among the Muslims. But he said, no, I'm not going to listen. And he just inferred that they are threatening me. So I am not going to listen them. So that's why he refused. So unfortunately, this was without any success, and a full-fledged war became inevitable. So at the end, just a quick word about the arbitration. So when the Syrian army was about to be defeated completely, so on the advice of Amr bin As radiallahu anhu, Muawiya radiallahu ta'ala anhu's army, they raised the holy book on the lenses and started saying that, oh, people, let's decide our matter, our this issue according to the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So on this, they were able to create rift among the armies of Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Ali insisted them to continue fight until the final victory, but unfortunately, due to some weak-minded people who were with Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu, they did not listen to him, and they said we have to listen to the book of Allah. And now they agreed to send arbitration from both sides. So from Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu, Abu Musa Ashari was appointed, and from Muawiya's side, Amr bin As radiallahu ta'ala. They met in the month of Ramadan there after 8-9 months. And unfortunately, whatever they agreed inside the tent, when they came out, Amr bin As radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he did not do according to that. So Abu Musa Ashari, who was a simple man by nature, he just announced that I depose Ali from the Khilafat, and but Amr bin As, he said, no, I am not going to do so. I keep him, Muawiya, as Khalifa, and Abu Musa Ashari, he already has deposed Ali radiallahu ta'ala. But nobody accepted that, and that's why, unfortunately, this rift continued throughout the history and until the shahadat and the martyrdom of Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu. So I think my time is finished. So if you just allow me, so I can say a few words more. What is the general view of the Ahlus Sunnah? That all quarters of the Ahlus Sunnah are unanimous on the point that Imam Ali was a rightful Caliph and the ruler of the Islamic Caliphate. He was elected by the same community that had already appointed and confirmed the 3 previous caliphs. So there was no reason for not accepting him as caliph and not listening to him. But unfortunately, the Syrian people under the leadership of Muawiya radiallahu anhu, they failed to do so. So they were wrong according to the Sharia of Islam. So they were on the wrong side, and they did which they were not supposed to do that. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين.